All right, let's get this going. All right, so here's what I'm going to work on tonight. Um, we've been doing a bunch of design stuff to work on some game modes. This mode is our castle raid. It's kind of the final map of our campaign. And the mode is basically both teams had a special super buffed VIP character. If he died, the match is over. You could only really tell where they're at from the mini map. And that mode hasn't been tremendously fun. We want to make it a cool final mode, so we're playing with some linear objective stuff. So I'm going to start by, this is not normally play space. I saved a copy of the map, and I'm going to work on some prototypes that we're going to test in our weekly event Wednesday. So we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm Matt. I'm the lead developer on Hanako Honor and Blade. If you guys have any questions at any time, just ask me. An active chat makes stream way better, so do that. I hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone's safe and healthy, and welcome to the stream. So the first thing, in the old version of the map, the raiding team spawns in here. That ain't gonna happen anymore because I want to prototype a gate breach mechanic. So first thing I'm gonna do is get rid of some of these rocks. There's a hole in the landscape, that's perfectly fine. Blocking volume, bye-bye. Blocking volume, that one can stay for now. Let's go ahead and get a landscape component added back. Actually, that might cut into... I can sculpt around that. Let me see if that cuts into my tunnel. It looks like it does not. All right, we're good. So this is not play space. It was background. You actually, about the furthest you could get is here, and you would just see like facade. There would be a fog plane blocking the landscape. That's going to turn into play space now, just for this prototype. Usually you want to prototype with basic shapes and have test maps of just gray blocks, but we already have a map that has some of the things we want. Like we want a cool multi-level castle that ends up in the throne room. There's special things we want to do in the throne room. So we're going to set it up that way. So I need landscape brush. I'm going to hide the fog for now because it's just kind of in my way. This volume looks like it's kind of in my way too, so I'm going to slide this back a little bit. Let's go ahead and get the flatten tool. And we need this to be much bigger. That works. Let's just flatten out some space. Build this up over here, smooth this down. Something like that will do, just to get so much grass out of here. Let me just get some of this out of here. I'm just gonna make it doesn't really. I mean, we're realistically like this map isn't actually gonna come out or anything. We're just gonna do. Okay, so there's that. This is probably a blocking volume, nav mesh bounds volume. So that needs to expand because bots need to be able to path. So that's going to go out here. And then take care of that. Why can't I see these comments? This chat thing's my chat's in the way. Oh, there we go. Hey Alec, welcome. I don't know if you're still here. I haven't seen these in a second. For some reason, it didn't post them to my restream. Arvind, it's just the default environment height fog. Exponential height fog with some settings tweaked, and then actually I don't even have volumetric fog in here. It's just the default Unreal fog. Can be whatever color you want it to be, whatever density you want it to be. It actually can go higher than that, but. Ooh, I just realized that some of those volumes might be in the art level, which is not good. I'll find out when I reopen this. I'm going to go grab a camp from a different map. Just so I can do the thing quickly. So it's these dudes. I'm just going to grab their basics. Luckily, I already have some of this grouped. I'm going to grab their spawn points. The art doesn't matter so much, but since this helps tell what side of the map you're on, I do want a good bit of it. At least that inner camp part. I don't necessarily need the flags so much. I want the class volume, and that should work. Interesting that selecting that is deselecting that. No, okay, it's one of those things. So anyway, if you guys want to help us test this, oh, okay, I see what's going on now. That's an art. So is this an art too? Ooh, it is. That's really bad. Let me do something else. All blocking volume should also be in there. I'm just moving the volumes that I may need to delete out of the art level because that's going to be shared. What level are these guys in? Because these... Okay. Back to the other one. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to move that down too. Alright, so I got copying that camp from the other map. Interesting that that doesn't rotate. Oh, it's a prototype, so it doesn't really matter too much. If we ended up going with this, I'd just fix this later. I'll just go with this for now because it will work. So I'm gonna get rid of these VIP buff zones. Need to move a few other things. Okay, so if those are gone, then that gives me a little bit of a path. Okay. So actually, I think what I'm gonna do, just so I have full flexibility and I can work faster, I think I'm actually gonna select everything in this level and move it down to this. Actually, wait. Because if some of these are grouped, I might want to actually use that. Thank you. Come on. Come on, Unreal. Well, guess we're waiting for this for a second. Yep, I will be hard at work on this until it's done, which is looking like end of the year, beginning of next year right now. Once we figure out this game mode, we actually have one more map to make in this game mode, and then that's the last piece of release content. Then once we release and see how that goes, we might see what comes next. Why does it do that? Don't know why this is taking so damn long. Why is it going through all of this stuff when I said not to do it? I specifically said don't move all this stuff, and it's like, you know what, we're just going to update all this forever. It's only 50% done too. Cool. Awesome. Well, in the meantime, I'll talk about some stuff. First off, if you've never seen this game before anywhere else, it's called Hanako Honor and Blade. It's a class-based melee game set in feudal Japan. It's 12 versus 12. Here is a link to our most recent trailer. So every Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, we do a playtest, and the dev team's there. It's a kind of a community versus dev team night. We test out new stuff. I'm gonna work on getting this prototype done specifically for that test so we can try out the new mechanics. And anyone's free to join. You do have to have the game, and if you do and you play in a few rounds, I'll give you a key for a friend so we can grow our very infant to new player base that we've been growing in early access for a while. We have been in early access for quite some time, but early access as an unbudgeted indie game is very, very difficult to grow a player base. I will say that. Maybe this, whatever this is doing, will finish up at some point. I'm still not sure why it has to do this. Oh yeah, speaking of that, the events happen on, they're coordinated in our Discord, they're usually announced there, and it's the best place to see what's going on when we're streaming, when we have an event, when a patch is coming out, any of that kind of stuff. Alright, so the thing is done. Oh, it did move all the stuff. Okay. And it has all of this in a group for some reason. It's kind of useful, actually, since it wants... Discords, yes. Reddit, sort of, to some mixed reviews. Reddit is very toxic towards game development. They're especially not super friendly towards indie games trying to promote themselves. I mean, I get it. There's hundreds and maybe even thousands of them trying to get noticed, and it's a whole different ballgame than AAA, where they just can pay a lot of money to make that stuff happen on its own. There was one time I did a promoted thing on Reddit that actually went pretty well, but you know, the thing is, you know, broadcasters, streamers, those types of individuals, they know that they're the ones responsible for getting the word about games out there. So they the price on those on influencers has gone up quite a lot. It's pretty difficult to get broadcasters at this point. So I'm going to remove art, save this. All right, so now everything's in here. Oh wow, the tunnel's like, I can do all kind of stuff with that. Okay. So for group, I want to ungroup. I wish I could keep this building, so I need to move all of this crap. But it's gonna take forever to select it all, because this building needs to move up a lot. Or maybe even get deleted. I might just delete it. It's going bye-bye actually. I'll just keep doing this until it's gone. So what I want to do now, oh yeah, that was like right when we restarted in June 2013. So we've been at this version for 7 years now, officially. But yeah, we had kind of gotten far enough along to start talking about it on social media, and became a thing. Oh, that's crazy. This thing doesn't need to go up this high at all. I'm glad you decided to come back and check it out. It has been a long journey for sure. So I think it should be standard. Yeah, it should be about like to where that's supposed to be. So let me see, about right here. Ooh, there's still these guys. All of these. Just need to go. I really, really loved working on Smite. That was a fun project to work on. Okay, so these guys. This is going to be kind of a weird thing. So that's a pretty huge height difference right away. Yeah, I left Hi-Res in 2017. I work at Tripwire Interactive now. I've been there for 2.5 years, a little over 2.5 years. So let me see something here. If I just make a little bowl here. So I need a control zone. Let me grab that from a content browser. It's off screen. I really wish I could stream 2 screens. Yep. Yep, Maneater was the first project I worked on start to finish at Tripwire. Super excited about how it's been doing and all of that. It was a really cool, unique project to work on. I enjoyed working on it a lot. Okay, so there's a little gate breach area. Does this just not have inside now? Oh wait, yeah it does, so it doesn't matter. Sweet. So I can... give me... let's go ahead and use this guy. Just doing this like really stupid fast. So I'm gonna make like a little breach area. This could probably get deleted. I'll bring this over just to conceal the tunnel. Matt, yeah, I did work on Smite for about, God, how long was it? 5 years? 6 years, maybe even? It was for a long time. I've spent more time on that project than any other professionally. I'm actually going to make this harder. Let's make it go up to there. Grab my ladder. So you're gonna have a ladder breach. By the way, Wednesday we're gonna test this, and usually we have like anywhere from 8 to 10 people. But the more people we get for this, since we're a 24-person game, would make it way easier to test, and we could get more feedback. That'd be super super appreciated. If anyone has time, Wednesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I'm gonna give them 2 ladders, and then what I want to do is I'm actually gonna build this up a little bit. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to comment on that, but I enjoyed my time on Smite, especially early Smite, as it grew into a mature product and um, got popular, and it was really fun to play. Like as a developer, we had a really fun time internally playing it. And the only thing I have to say about it is there came a time in my career when it was time to go, and I left, and I'm much happier where I am. And that's my very diplomatic answer to that. I think another way to look at that too is that there's not a lot of places to work in the game industry in the Southeast, and there's, regardless of the ethics or the way things are run, it's a place for 400 or 500 people to work at and feed their families and be homeowners and car owners, and there's a lot of really great people there that I'm glad that they have a job, and for their sake, I hope that that studio continues to be successful, if for nothing else, for their sake. And it just helps the Georgia game industry, honestly. So let's see, how can I do this? So they have the ladder breach. Ew, I did the thing. I did not place those very well. Oh, they're tilted, okay. That's why. So let's see, I need a blueprint, environment, control zone. And I need it to be perfectly flat around it for gameplay. Go ahead and paint. That didn't do a very good job, now did it? Oh, I wish it kept my ramp. That would have been easy. That would have made that a lot easier. Let's go there. Ooh, it's still not working great. Yeah, I mean, maybe one day I'll go into that, but today is not that day. As a game developer, it's really scary to work in the AAA game industry because there's a lot of uncertainty. I mean, you really a lot of times don't know from one project to the next what's going to happen. But I think a lot of the issues that game studios have, those are things not exclusive to the game industry. Just kind of any corporation or job can have those problems. So in general, for me, I generally want all studios to stay open because I've had a lot of friends get laid off in the industry, and I had a couple friends go through like the 10 cents or not 10 cent Telltale stuff, and it's tough out there. Like the industry's doing well, but you know, everyone's seen the Hassan Minaj or what's God, that's not what's his name? Did I get that right? Yeah, Minhaj. And all the Kotaku stuff. So this is... So capture time, let's go with 15. Actually, I'll do 20. Team number is owned by Hanako. Active duration was 60. And then this is a hacky thing I'm doing because we're doing like if you successfully defend as the home team for the 6 minutes, you win. It's just going to be active for 1 second. So Hanako goes to that. Warm up time is 2:30. Then in progress, start the warm up. Available Yeti, welcome back. Yeah, I'm multi-streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Steam. So I'm occasionally answering things on other platforms. I'll try to read out what I'm being asked though. So the hard part about this is the throne room. I don't know if the throne room can even fit a control point. It might have some weird obstacles and stuff. Yeah, it kind of does. Well, and this tear off, I'm just going to open up some space. And I also think I'm going to open up a couple more ways in here. We did ditch the shading effect, and you know I have really split feelings about it because what's interesting about that is the reason we ditched it was it was interfering with the gameplay outlines on friendlies and enemies. I'm just gonna delete those, and so I removed them for a gameplay reason. But I've had mentors urge me to get rid of those for years, and ever since we did, just the common gamer out there doesn't recognize the game as stylized anymore, even though it is. Instead, they see it as last gen. They think it looks old and dated now, which is extremely disappointing to me. So we might honestly be forced to bring it back just to. Because we don't have, like, we can't go back and redo all the art like hyper real. Like our art has a Borderlands-y kind of feel to it, and like that's what we're committed to doing at this point. Matt, to your point about Epic's efforts, game developers are absolutely like blown away and love Epic. They've been extremely generous with game development, and Unreal Engine has given a lot of developers homes. I couldn't possibly be happier with Epic. I know people are, down on the Epic Game Store because they have such a huge legacy kind of setup with people might have 200 games on Steam. They don't want to deal with Epic Game Store, but to me, it's like it doesn't really matter what buttons you click to get the game you want to play. and it's helping developers make better games. Epic's being really great about all of that, and I really am a huge fan of Epic Games and what they're doing for the game development community. You know, players eventually will come around. It'll take them a while, but they'll come around. So if my catches this, it's just over. This I'm gonna do 45 and go ahead and do 45 on this too, because I think that's what I'm doing on the other ones. Yeah, like I picked up GTA 5 on there. What's crazy, like, you know, I don't play as many games as I used to, because you know this is what I do with my a lot of my free time. I was going through my games because I moved a couple months ago, and I just have a box full of my games I haven't unpacked because I was looking for. I wanted to play the old PS2 Battlefront 2, and I didn't realize how many games I have for PS3 that I thought were PS4. Like I was like, wow, I played GTA 5 on PS3, and then I was like, oh wow, I played Last of Us on PS3. Oh wow, I played whatever Yakuza 4 on PS3. It's kind of a trip. Oh man, there's this mod that someone's making that's called like natural. Let me see what it's called. Um, I haven't played GTA 3 or 5, God, 3, GTA 5 since probably like 2014, but one of my colleagues posted a mod called Natural Vision Evolved where someone like relit Grand Theft Auto and like kind of did some stuff to bring it up to current gen look, and holy crap, that trailer looks badass. Like I'm downloading that before I play through it again. What do you mean? Matt, sorry, I don't understand the question. Oh, are you talking about like the team outlines for like to bring back the cell shader or something else? Okay, so I think what I need to do now is I wish when you copy pasted it would paste at the location you had selected. That would be cool. I'm gonna do a bunch of yeah, there's a couple different ways. I really wanted to do it through the post-process material for both, and the problem with that is even those stencils have like their own bit that you define, like 1 is red, 2 is blue, 3 is black. They interfere with each other when they go to occlude, so you would have these instances where like a player running in front of grass that didn't have the black outline would like cut out the player outline too. Um, I probably spent 2 weeks straight trying to get that to work right. Um, I probably should just do. There's a legacy thing where you basically take the character mesh and you render it inside out and then apply just like a glowing red to it. That would work because it doesn't use post processing. I'll probably end up doing that because I honestly would like to bring the cell shader back. I just think it looks better for our game and it helps people. It just helps the, you know, typical gamers understand that our game's stylized. It's not supposed to be like groundbreaking next gen. Okay, so I have these forward spawns now. I'm gonna hook that up. And let's see, I haven't done forward spawn in our game in a while. What I need is to get this bind to on objective complete. Which this will fire off this event. Oh, it does tell me the successful team. Perfect. Point A victory. So the sieging clan is clan 1, which is the Yamai clan. If they win, let me see, I should have a spawn. Let me see, I think I have a blueprint library thing to do. Change spawns. Change AI spawns. Hanago team start. New player starts. So it's looking for a tag. So it makes the makes the old ones inactive and the new ones active. So wait, if the player start tag. So if it doesn't have player start, okay. You could. Part of the, I couldn't personally, I'm not a programmer at all, especially like rendering or any of that. I'm a technical artist by trade, so I'm kind of in that area, especially shaders, but I don't know if you've used UE4, but if you haven't, they have this thing called custom depth that when you flag down an object, it puts it in its own depth channel. And then within that, there is a child hierarchy of an additional custom depth path called custom stencil. Custom stencil is the one that has the bit where you can assign colors, or you basically use it as a mask in a shader to say bit 1, use this color, you know, so on. But since they're a child of custom depth, when you use custom depth to assign the black outlines on level objects, they occlude the custom stencil even though the custom stencil is in front of it. And when you try to use scene depth as a property to kind of, so you get it, you either don't get occlusion at all, or you get custom depth objects interfering with custom stencil objects. So the one option is to get custom stencil completely out and do the colored outlines a different way. Because that would be cheaper than doing that to the level objects. And honestly, the outline shader is pretty expensive for performance. Swall, there's all these dudes. So I'm going to make an array here, and I need a custom event called what is this, a peach raid? Hello raid friends. It's going to be run on server, reliable. It's coming along pretty well. We just redid like almost all of our menus recently. I've been working on that for the last while, and I've been doing localization setup. So I had, let me show you. This is it gives you it's a good look for how long I've worked on this and how much I've learned from doing it. So these used to be the buttons for class select or team selection and class selection. See a problem here, all the text is in the image. That ain't easy to localize. So you'd have to have an image for every language. So I redid the cards to be a fully dynamic architecture, because I've had to learn to basically be a UI developer for the project because there's no one else on my team that has the time to do it. So I got these nice dynamic cards. So I can pick what class it automatically knows, what to change the class to, and it's pretty cool. And all the text is in a database that's ready to export, and our game is like 99% ready to get translated, which was our last free weekend. We had about 5,000 people come through, and I have really good data on what languages to do. And we actually have gotten requests lately for Russian especially. So hopefully that'll work out. I actually need to expand this array for the Hanako ones. Let me go ahead and get those set up. So thanks for asking about. Are you talking about the Early Access 4 trailer? That's that new map. I'm super thrilled with how the Yamai Village map turned out. It sucks that the Yamai clan represents such horrible personal things in my life, but I love that map. It turned out really cool, and victory cinematics are definitely my favorite part of the last big patch. It was one of my friend's ideas, and I really loved all the victory cinematics in the game, which reminds me, okay, good, there's none in here. Thanks. It's tough that your favorite map in your game is a game that represents something awful. Okay, so here's the Hanako spawns are still good. Hanako's gonna get their stuff like shoved behind the castle. This area probably should be, yeah, just for the weekend. It really shattered my expectations. I did do quite a bit of marketing. We got really lucky and we ended up on a PC gamer list for it was like games to play on quarantine during the weekend, and it was only like us and Gears 5, and we got a lot of people from PC gamer, so our marketing efforts kind of paid off. Oh my god, autosave, I hate you so much. Whoa, there are double rocks in here? Wow, there are double rocks. Cool. I will worry about that another time. Oh, thanks a lot. I appreciate that. Speaking of, is this my command for it? Event? There we go. Yeah, it is events. There we go. We're gonna do that on Wednesday at 10 Eastern. This prototype. So I said this earlier in stream, but so our assassination mode, our campaign is basically like you play a team deathmatch in the middle of Japan, then you play like a map capture where you're trying to get a scroll that reveals where the village is. Then when you win that, then you play a village siege where you're trying to blow up their buildings, take capture zones, and kind of like a tug of war. Then you get to the castle, and it's you have a player-controlled VIP that only gets one life that you kill. The campaign's over. We haven't been that happy with that mode. We did make some changes to it for Early Access 4 that made it a little bit more fun, but it's not that much fun still. So we're trying kind of a linear objective progression that kind of fits the mode where you're trying to get like Bruce Lee style to the top of the castle and take the final point. It's a little Overwatchy, you could say. We'll see how this plays out in playtest, but I just literally duplicated this map, and I'm just going through, just modifying the level design as fast as I can to fit our new rules, just to see how it works. So hopefully I can get to. I really want to do a cool prototype for a gate. Our gate design is kind of like really high health from the front, but if you're able to breach from the back, you can like stand in the volume for a second and take it. Yeah, Steam gives you really great metrics under the hood on what languages and regions are playing your game, so it makes it pretty easy for us on what the top languages are. Um, what engine do you use, Matt? If you know Unreal, we could definitely use help on the programming side. We've had a tremendous gameplay programmer that got his dream job at Ubisoft from working on this project. So that makes 7 people that have gotten really awesome industry jobs from this project. So I'm super proud to help people get their careers started. If we never make a dime, that was worth it for everybody. It really was. So this was I hadn't streamed in a while because streaming localization has to be the most boring thing of all time. Like it's literally I was going through menu by menu, selecting text. You have to pick what string table it's in, and then I have to drop down and pick what string goes there for every single like line of text in the whole game. It was a nightmare of tedium, and I hope I never have to do it for a game ever again for the rest of my life. It was horrendous. It's game dev is extremely difficult, but its rewarding moments kind of make up for it. Like UDK and like UT what 2.5 and all of that. I got started in UT3 when it was like just the mod SDK for Unreal Tournament, but it was basically the Unreal 3 editor. And then when UDK came out, we merged this project, and then when UE4 came out, we changed again. Changing to UE4 was the best thing we ever did, though. Just by if we could have finished the game sooner, we had so much support from Epic because we were like the first indie game to really jump on the UE4 bandwagon right away. Like day 3 of Unreal 4 coming out, we were on it. Why is foliage duplicated in this? I haven't. I will have to check that out. I mean, it's asking a lot of someone to take time, their own free time to work on an indie project that doesn't have any budget. So the least I can do is mentor them into, you know, being job ready. You know, a lot of people that work on the project are amazingly talented, but they just need a little bit more to be like AAA ready. and it's really rewarding for me as the project leader to help people get their careers started. You know, sometimes it sucks because they start their job and they're like, yeah, I don't want to work on Hanako anymore. And I'm like, but we need you so bad. But you know, that's just how it goes. It can't be selfish. You know, most of the time it means I just have to do more work on the game, and I've learned a lot from having to wear multiple hats too. So it all kind of works out in the end. Oh man, you'll never believe what Steam is flashing for. Something that almost never happens, guys. Steam update. I've never had to patch my Steam client ever. Oh yeah, I was like, what am I doing? Did I get that? Yeah, okay, I got one of these back here. Okay, there we go. There's the Hanako spawns. And that is if my team loses, they need to not be active, and then they need to go in this array as well. Actually, I can't. I have to do all of them at once the way that function's made. It's kind of a lazy reusable function, so I'm okay with it. Oh, cool. Seven, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There's probably an easier way to do this, but again, fast prototype. If we end up really liking this mode on this map, I might just polish up all the laziness that I'm doing right now and just make it the new version of the map. That's the good part about early access, is you can just kind of do stuff, and then if it works out, then it works out. That's usually if like if we do a Wednesday test and it's a really good stable test and the game's better that week, usually I just like to leave that patch live, and that's just the version that's in the game now. So if you haven't played the game in a while and you haven't seen patch notes in a while, that doesn't mean we're not updating it. It just means we're just soft releasing lots of little things a little bit at a time. This is actually a pretty far run. How far does Hana goes from there to there? That's probably pretty similar, actually. Okay, so that's not default. Ooh, no, I don't want to delete my points. I haven't got to prototype a gameplay in a long time. This is very fun. So I think I can actually test the basics of this really quick. I want 2 players. I'm gonna do, and by the way, if you haven't seen the game in a while, here's our new team select and class select, something I've been working on. Game balancing, we've done a lot of it because we realized there was some issues with our code. Oops, I actually picked the wrong side for this. We realized that we had some issues with our hit detection and our damage code that was allowing certain characters to double hit. So a disproportionate amount of people were playing those characters. I mean, we don't have a ton of data to go off of because like it's not like we have 2,000 people playing the game CCU. We might have like 10 people CCU for all I know. It's actually a little bull point. I actually kind of dig it. So fixing that really fixed a lot of the balance issues by themselves. There's still some stuff we need to do with the archer character. Because he's the only ranged. He's pretty strong. Sweet, so I can't capture this, but I am gonna defend it. What I don't like is there's not a timer, and there really should be. It should let me know what my defense time is. Oops. That actually feels like a pretty decent. Okay. So I'm testing this on this other client's on my other screen. I meant to do it backwards so you guys could see what I'm doing. I'm testing the progressive spawn to see if it works. Okay. So now that that objective's complete, when I die, I should respawn in the thing, and when this guy dies, I should respawn. All right, looks like progressive spawn did work. Yep, sweet. So if Yamai pushes Hanako back, they start outside of the castle now instead of inside, and Yamai gets to start here, which is still a pretty far run. And I need to smooth that out some more. So they have, the path isn't super great. The flow's not super great for this, but it'll be okay. They actually have a pretty far run to the next space. This mode might need another point that's like breaking into the front castle gate, and then you get another spawn here before you go up. But we'll test the 2-point version first. So another thing I need to test is, oh god, first time I've run. But for real, how is there a Steam patch every day? Okay, so progressive spawn works. I need to smooth this out a little bit. Let me look at something really quick. So I might put up a test patch for some of my team to check this out early, because if they look at it and are like, yeah, we need to add that 3rd point, then I can just do it before we test. So it's just called Hanako Castle Raid. Okay. Yeah, he has the least. Actually, no, he doesn't have the least amount of armor. He's actually going to probably get nerfed down to either 20 armor like the ninja, or just outright 0 armor, because he is fairly quick as well. The arrows do less damage. However, headshots are about the same as like a heavy attack on one of the melee characters. But I think the game, for the most part, feels pretty good. The ninja was super weak lately, and we updated his attacks to be a little bit stronger, because he's pretty he's the quintessential DPS. Have you played our game before, Matt? You should, if not, you should hop on our Discord and check it out if you would like at some point. People really like playing our archer character. Our team deathmatch map. People love playing the archer on that map. It's kind of unofficially called Ite map, because we all kind of unofficially have a tradition of playing everyone plays archers on that level. It's really fun. So forward spawn's working. I need to test. So actually it doesn't show you how much time's left on it, and I don't like that. I think think I might make a, how's this? So how's this go? How's this work? Event tick. Did I do a function for, there is a timer. What's setting this though? So it's just setting the color. I think I could reuse this. I don't know why I'm not even doing, oh yeah, I am doing stuff with that. How do I want to do this? Let's do, I'm just gonna add oh, I kind of see what this is getting at now. Okay, so time set outside of this thing, so need to make a change in here because I really need defense time in here because it's just too important. I also think let me look at something really quick. I need to see how I'm doing something in other maps. Let me go to my village, and while we're there, we can take a look at the new map if you guys have never seen it before or didn't watch the trailer. Oh, awesome. Well, thanks for picking it up a while ago. I mean, outside of our Wednesday events right now, to be frank, it's fairly unpopulated a lot of the time, but it's like any multiplayer game. It's 10 times, it's like a 10x fun multiplier when there's mostly humans in there. Yeah, I actually need to check these. So it's this, there's no... Yeah, there's nothing different about this one. That's so weird. So I'm using 999. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, it's props in like the whole map. That sucks. Okay. Well, let me fix that really quick. I actually want a lot of these though. Oops, I reopened the same app. Sorry. It's going to be timer objective. This is also going to be timer objective. Oh man, starting to get tired. So tomorrow night I'm going to be streaming as well. I'll probably start around 10:30 to 11, somewhere in there, depending on what time I get down to my office. Um, I plan to work on um, hit reactions, not hit reactions, but just hit feedback, making it easier to tell you hit the enemy. What I'm going to do is have a kind of a red outline, a red glow around the character that kind of flashes when you hit them. I'm gonna do some particle effects work to play up when you successfully hit an enemy. Um, I am really excited for UE4, especially because I believe I've heard that they're making it like a major update to UE4 instead of a brand new engine where you have to like relearn everything. So if that's true, I'm more excited because they have this ecosystem of developers that it's beneficial and very cost saving for like your entire staff to not have to learn a new engine, and it'll get people to adopt it faster. So if that's true, I'm extremely excited. If not, I'm excited, but I feel like I don't have the time I used to have to like learn a new engine. Like I learned UE4 because of this project, not because I had time to. So like this project's not going to go to UE5 because it's about to come out, in the next year. So that's a little tough because I'll have. I mean, I'm a tech artist. I have to learn all the new technology, so I'm gonna have to juggle and figure out how to learn it, or but really just make time to learn it. But hopefully there's demands, during work to also do some R&D and pre-production for whatever's next, and that should fill some of those gaps. I really just want to. I still have a lot of UE4 stuff to pick up. A lot of the 425 ray tracing and the UE4 chaos and a lot of the like high-end stuff. So let me get this set up really quick. So I'm gonna do a. Is there an event tick in here? There's not, because we made this the right way. We could use gameplay programming help, especially on like the combat side. UI development would be super helpful, though a lot of our UI is in Blueprint because I was kind of forced to do all of it, or a lot of it. What else? An effects artist, so that's another thing I really have no business doing, but I kind of had to. I mean, blueprints are, yeah, we need non-blueprint coding. Especially on the gameplay side, the way we did it, we've largely done it is we have two programmers, and our lead programmer basically does everything now in C++, and he'll give me event dispatchers or the bindings that you've seen me use a few times tonight. And he'll give me access to do things, and usually our combat system is like all the functionality and everything is C++, but then the visual feedback is done through events and Blueprint. For the most part, there's some that's completely C++, both sides, mechanic and presentation, but a good bit of presentation or like stuff that was prototyped that's just still there. So I'm just setting up a little timer here that's going to loop. Get time TF. This get time remaining. think it's get time remaining. Float to text, and let's see if this works. Yeah, so defense time still isn't working. Let me... Actually, maybe this just needs to be not replicated. Oh, duh. I didn't set the boolean on these. Is raid point? Yes, yes it is. I'm gonna lower the warm up in this mode so speed up iteration time. Ooh, there's a block in volume right here that I need to get rid of. No, it still doesn't have it. Let me look. Oh, sneeze coming on, hold on. Wait, false alarm maybe? Oh, I left out something in there too. Oh, I see. See what this does. Also, I noticed a bug that, let me look at it really quick. Our characters and animation is a kind of a committee thing. We've had, I think, probably 3 or 4 character artists come through, and I think 4 or 5 different animators. We had the same animator for kind of the middle of the project for 2 years. He did a lot of the ninja animations and some of the Kenshi animations. And then our current animator's been with the project about 2 years. He's done all of the Naginatashi animations, the Ite, and he's been polishing up the really everything at this point. So objectives HUD. There's a get timer text. Let me check this out while this is going. Variables not in scope. That's weird because it ooh, that's not what I want. No, I don't think so because he just got a job at Volition recently. And Hanukkah's kind of the only side thing he wants to do. But if I hear differently, then we'll let you know. Okay, so I'm close. It's reporting one of the numbers that I want, but not the number that I want. So it's not time. What do I don't. It's not time remaining. Is it capture time remaining? Time 04. Get time held. I want like active duration. Get current active time. That might be the one I want. It might be in reverse too. Yeah, we all, pretty much the entire team has an industry job, and then we work on this at night. Like I usually work like Sunday through Wednesday for about 4 to 5 hours. So I put like 20-ish hours a week into it. Around patches, I'll do closer to 30 or 40. I used to do about 40 full time and then like 40 or 50 this, but I can't do that anymore. What on earth is that? No, so it's counting up. I need to do... It would be get active duration, be 360 minus how long. Yeah, that's what I need to do. I can't figure out why the heck. So if I go back to my timer function, get warm up time remaining, get time remaining. Let me just see if this works again for this one. Because if it does, then I don't really, I can fix that later. Oh, nope, it is backwards now. Actually, I think it might just be I personally don't do a lot of coding. I do mostly blueprints. Oh, so I get current warm-up time. Maybe it's... Oh yeah, this should work. This actually should work. I don't know why it wouldn't. This warm-up time not replicated anymore. What other time-related things do I have in here? Oh, I need to get it off that. Yeah, I had to, when I worked at Hi-Res, I had to get an amendment made to my non-compete. And they were okay with it, but I think it was mostly because it's a really personal project. But I would say, from a political standpoint, it's helped my career as a developer because I learned so much. But that's okay. I'm doing prototype stuff anyway, so I kind of just want it to work, and don't care. For now. My employer now is pretty friendly about indie projects. Like, keep it out of work, but learn as much as you want to learn, however you want to learn it outside of work. And I think that attitude makes sense. And I wish more studios had that attitude towards indie games. Because, I mean, the odds of, like, even if someone made a huge indie game, at worst they quit and do their own thing. So, like, it's not like, as long as you're not making a game, it's like the exact same genre. There we go. That's what I wanted. So I have a timer on there. The timer should probably be up here too. Okay. And if you're wondering, I took one of our maps that's already out, and I like deleted a bunch of stuff out of here, and we're doing kind of a linear objective mode that I'm prototyping. So it's going to look real weird in some spots. But we're really just doing this to kind of gray box test the ideas out first. So let's see if I can get something. I see. Actually, I wonder if I just... Actually, let's do another branch. This is a bad way to do it, but like I said, I just want to get this prototype going, so I don't care right now. So this might work pretty well. Or I might have to do the... should have made the active time shorter on this. Let me do that. No, yeah, I actually do need this information for this to work right. So it's not going to be this, it's going to be... Yeah, it's, I mean, honestly, I should make these a little bit cleaner. Um, just because they usually end up staying in the game way longer than they're meant to. Wow, it still says active in 20. All right, cool. So now all I need to do is fix, this is capture for both, which is weird. So if you're, the color's right, but why does it say capture? Oh, I'm not setting owning team, am I? That's weird. Because if the color applied, the text should too. I mean, when I'm making a feature I know is going to be in the game, like I'll do it really clean. But if I'm like doing something I know is throwaway, I just kind of do whatever I need to do. Why does it say, oh, I'm dumb. No. So it should say for Hanako, defend. So hold on a second. Status text. What's updating this? Objective name, action. Get team number. Update circular capture. If it's control zone, it says capture. Oh, I see. What actually should happen is that this is backwards. This should be gameplay alert generic destroy. Imagine watching me hook up like 50 of these. That should be false. Defend should be true. I had that logically inverted. So now Hanako team should see a, God, why does it say capture? There we go, gatehouse defend when it goes active. And Yamai clan should see a capture. Perfect. All right, so my feedback works, the timer on the thing works, and that is good. Yeah, like it's nice. I'm not a programmer at all. Like I was an environment artist and then a level designer and then a technical artist. So my background's in art, but I have a pretty, I guess, logical mind. So if I basically if I can talk out the steps of what need to happen, Blueprint is kind of plain English enough for me to be able to piece it together with like no object oriented programming background. Like, I've taken programming courses in school and stuff, but it wasn't like low level computer science. It was more of like learning syntax and doing practical like ActionScript or Java like quick easy little games. But Blueprint just kind of facilitates all of that. So what I need to do is see if um, all right, so now I need to set the active duration to like 10, just so I can see if Hanako defends this, the match should actually be over. And something else I'm gonna do. Okay, so I set this up that I'm doing a quick 5-second test. Hanako should just win after this. Oh, they did not. They should have 200 points. Okay, that means I didn't set the victory score properly in the game mode. So let's find that. Oh, that's why. Scored match. Victory score 200. So Hanako should win right here. Yep, perfect. All right, so that works. I'm gonna do something here. Control zone. The on active. Sweet. Okay. So that was a very productive period of time. Prototype's pretty much done. For the test purposes, while I'm in here, I actually wanted to put why did I not make that the same pivot? Alright guys, I'm gonna get off of here while I'm at a good stopping point because I really want to get started on the gatehouse, or the destructible openable gate. But I am going to be satisfied with this. For now. So I'll be back tomorrow night, guys, around 10:30 or 11. So take care. Have a good night.